then, welcome back to another episode, Nemsun on Utopia. This episode, I have a lot of catching up to do. We have a brand new server. We have a lot of positive things about the server. We have some great builds going on around the server, around the Warlords area, and especially at Doodarts. Need to keep up with Doodarts videos to find out what all this is. But we've got a fusion reactor in the making. We've been ploughing tons and tons of materials into this AE system to autocraft everything for us. And, well, I've been very busy today. We've had the server... We sorted the server out for Lewis's live stream on Sunday. And today I'm recording and it's Monday. And the server is running a lot better. And we basically christened it. We basically broke it in on Lewis's live stream where we did a lot of running around. A lot of people came on to support Lewis. And we did a lot of stuff to test the server out. And everyone was pleased with how the server was performing. And I'm very pleased with how the server's performing right now. But the problem is, if we look at F3, my frames per second is still very low. Even over here at Doodarts, my frames per second is very low. Now we come round over here, and I'm only getting 17 frames per second. And it's not loading up a lot of chunks. Now let's just do a quick experiment. We go way over here, away from the Warlords Base. Now, bearing in mind that we are recording right now, so we've got Fraps, well, we've got DX Story running, but this is 20 frames per second recording speed. Now, I have been playing today with Optifine installed with 90 frames per second. And I changed all my settings to get the most out of my frames per second. And in some places I was getting the full 90, in other places 70 or 80. Now I'm recording with DX Story, I'm at 20. So I've been having this bit of a frames issue. And one thing that everybody can agree on is that the Warlords Base is very, very frames per second laggy. So I've been trying to find out what the cause of that is. You see around here at Tanhan's railway workshop, we're at 18, 19. So not so much further from it. Over at over at Bowlef's, let's go over to Bowlef's over here. Over at Bowlef's, we're down to 14 or 15 frames per second. There's a lot of bees buzzing around. Maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. Over at Doodarts, we've got quarries over here. Old quarries. And you'd expect that to have less activity, maybe. 19 frames per second, not bad. Means we're fairly good. We're looking over here. 14 frames per second, 18, 19 frames per second. So, about right for what currently is the norm while recording. Now, if we come over to the Warlords Base itself, we're on 12, 13. And you might notice that I've ripped out lots and lots of stuff today. My frames just drop to 10, 11. And there's no barrels left. I've installed an AE system and basically pulled everything, every single item, every chest, every barrel, and put it into an AE system. Well, actually, let me show you upstairs, all the way around up here. So we had a sand room that was constantly filling up with sand. It's all empty. Ripped it all out, put it in the AE system. We had a Zycraft room with loads of barrels of Zycraft stuff, and all the Zycraft stuff is now in the AE system. We had... Whoop, let me through the door. Let me through the door, stupid power suit. Thank you. We had a red power sorting system, which I've pulled out, and it's all gone into the AE system. We had a load of blocks in here, filling barrels. I didn't quite take all of these out, but these last 4 barrels, these were lined with barrels, and I emptied them all out into the AE system. And I'm still at low frame rate. I've moved all but a few of the animals way over there, so they're not even rendered in, and still no change to the frames per second. I haven't touched any of this farm area or my AE area at all yet, because that all came after we started having the frames problems. I've disconnected everything down here, which was an old red power system that pumped food from the farm into Bowlef's bakery. I've removed all the books, the Mistcraft books, to see if that had anything to do with it. Listen to the sounds. 10 frames per second still. I've even been into Doodarts, and he doesn't use this place anymore. Doodarts is now over there. I've emptied all of his chests, and I've put all of his stuff, all of the stuff he left lying around in his base, the stuff that was just junk that he didn't really want, has pretty much gone into the AE system. Still no better frames per second. Still no better. Now, I don't like having low frames per second. I can move about enough, and I can do stuff, and I can record, so it's not too bad. But there's a big problem with our frames per second over here, and I still can't get to the bottom of it. Down here, we had the entire red power and thermal expansion smelting system. I've got rid of it, all of it. All the barrels that were along here, all gone into this AE system. This AE system has pretty much eaten up all of my crystals, all of my quartz crystal supplies, and I've made a load of 64K storage and a load of 16K storage just to get as many item types in there as possible. I've been over here and I've run the AE cable all the way over here so that all of these are on AE storage buses, so everything in these chests is also in the AE system. There was only a few barrels in here, nothing special, so I didn't bother with those. And over here at this sorting system, I haven't changed anything either, yet. But I'm running out of options now, because not only have I ripped all this level out, but I've also been down to the power level, and at the minute there's no power being produced other than what's left lava-wise in these magmatic engines. I've broken the seals on all of the tanks, so that there's no Zycraft tanks active. I mean, the valves, they're still there, but they're holding all the information. If I break those, then we could be in trouble. We lost everything. I don't know. The steam boiler's still currently full, and a few of these are working, but I can't see why any of that should affect our frames per second. Down here we had a power converter going from water mills down below. Taken all that out. The water mills down below, I mean, fly up. All of this down here was lots and lots of little water mills. We had these little runs down here with water mills stacked all the way up to this level with flowing water all over them. So I got rid of all the water, and I got rid of all the water mills and stashed them all away in the AE system. And I've quarried out this area as well to clean it all up properly. Clean it all up around here. Still nothing. Still no change to the frames per second. I go down here, and there was a fairly large ravine. Now, I don't think ravines normally cause lag, but there was a lot of water around. So I've blocked off all the water and all the lava in the ravine. I've been through it all from all the ends, different ways to block off. Oh, lovely. block off all of the water and all of the lava from flowing around. So I can hear some flowing water now. And I could do with standing in some flowing water, but this suit can protect me. There you go. Okay, stop me burning. So I've stopped everything that I can think of that could be causing frames lag. And still, after all that, down here, where we're pretty much back into normal area, we're on 11 frames per second. And when I'm playing normally, this is around about 30 or 40. Because it halves wherever you are, it seems to halve. So I've removed just about everything that we do down below. And I've turned off almost everything that we do up here. And I've removed almost everything on the top 2 levels of the workshop. And all around the village I've been disconnecting and removing stuff. And still, we're down to 11 frames per second. I'm starting to wonder if it's this biome. If there's a... that's a tree. Get me out of the tree, stupid power armor. I'm starting to wonder if it's this biome. If there's a problem with this particular biome. Another thing was Mistcraft portals. So I went round and I turned off Mistcraft portals. So I came over into here, and this is the Enderman Farm Mistcraft portal. Take it out, 15 frames per second. Put it back in, still 15 frames per second. No difference in my frames per second having the portal on or off. There just doesn't seem to be a reason for it. There just doesn't seem to be a reason for the frames per second lag in this area at all. So I am at a loss. The only solution I can see really is, now I've been putting everything into the AE system, putting it all onto disks, and then just picking the disks up, picking the AE systems up, and moving somewhere else. But I don't really want to just move somewhere else, because moving somewhere else is a big hassle. I've only moved over here and it's gone up frames per second. Down here, 17, 18 frames per second. There's a big difference between the mountains, the red mountains, and everywhere else, it seems. And I just can't figure it out. So I'm a little bit down in the dumps. The server's working great. And I'm over here. That red mountain's loaded and I'm at 20 frames per second. I don't think it's my computer, because everybody's getting it. Yep, 20 frames per second recording. Yep. So I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do something somewhere else. Or we're going to rebuild the Warlords Base. I'm going to have a quick think about it. See what else it could possibly be that's causing this frame rate lag. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we're in building mode. So I'm just putting the basic AE back in place so that we've got a good shape to the room as normal. And I'm trying to figure out now what way round to do things. I've run cables across both sides here and over here so that we can come up into machines, and I think I'm going to run cables along the top as well so we can go down into machines. The machines will be on 2 different levels, the crafting will be on 2 different levels, so we may have just about anything along the top here. So for now, let's just pop in that cable there and this cable over here. Give me that. There you go. To connect it all up into the AE system when we get there. And I'm planning on just doing a very simple, similar sort of thing as we've done before. Just circling around the top with steps, like so, just to give it a smooth, clean edge. But now we've got machines and things to install into here for the crafting purposes. So we're going to need things like the thermonic fabricator, which we haven't messed about with. magma crucibles and liquid transposers and things like that. So we're going to need to put those crafting recipes into the AE system. Now, I've got a few ideas as to how we can do this. I think downstairs is probably the best place to be putting in the crafting recipes. And I also want to have an auto smelting area downstairs as well. These are going to be the sort of machines that you don't generally just auto do anything with. We've also got the bigger industrial craft machines downstairs that I want to plug into the system as well. One of the main things that we've been in need of has been the liquid transposers. So I don't know whether to go. Yeah, I think I'll go here. Liquid transposer, and the magma crucible. I'll make another magma crucible in a bit. Or maybe I'll just make one now. Actually, let's just make another magma crucible now. The thing for the magma crucible. Where am I? Let's search it up in here. I had been searching up transformers and things for BPAT a little while ago because he was because he was having a few problems. So that's a recipe for that. Machine frame with redstone reception coil and some copper and nether brick and a bucket. Okay. So have we got a machine frame? Yes, we have one of those. Do we have a reception coil? I did take a load of stuff out, so reception coil, good. And what was the other things we wanted? Was nether brick and copper and a bucket. Nether brick, copper and a bucket. So we've got nether brick. Have we? Yes, we have. 2 nether brick. We need a bucket. Yep, I have one of those on there. And we also need some copper, which we've probably got tons of. Oh no, because we've been using a lot in Doodart's ultimate fusion reactor. Right, so what we need to tell these things are, so the magma crucible, we want to tell it to eject its liquid goodness up, not left, right, up, down or anything like that, and receive from the bottom. And let's do the same with this one. We're going to set it up so it sends that up and receives from the bottom like so. And then we're going to have an export bus. We're going to export these goodies into the magma crucibles. Now this will need a bit of a switcheroo. Yeah, actually I didn't need that down the bottom there, did I? Oh, change that round. Okay. And then we would cover it up like that. Yeah. But first, we're going to set it. So we're going to need, let's see, we're going to need a piece of redstone. So we'll take a bit of redstone, and we're also going to need some ender pearls, pearl even, ender pearl there, yep. And we're going to set this export bus to do ender pearls, and we'll have it so it just does it normally. So it should start exporting the ender pearls into the magma crucible. That's good. And the other one, we're going to set that up to redstone. So it's going to export redstone into that magma crucible. That's good. Okay. So once we've given those two power, then they will then be able to transfer the goods up here. Now the liquid that's coming in should be coming in from there. Yep. And I think I'm going to want to have the top being where it's going to have a crafting recipe. I think that's the plan anyway. So we're going to have the juices going up, and we probably want to have, where's my AE bag? Let's open up the reggae chest. We want 2 interfaces, and in those interfaces we are going to put the recipe for the blocks that we're going to fill the energy conduits and things like that, to make sure that the AE system knows that when I call for energy conduits, it will go to this one and drop an energy conduit in the back and pick it back up again. We also want the output to be top, don't we? That's not going to be so straightforward, is it? Output top, input bottom. I might have to hit that on the back side. That might not work. I might not be able to get these in such a confined space. I may have to put these in somewhere else, or line them up across. But I need that to eject out. So maybe, if I continue derping around a bit, let's take these 2 back again. Let's take this back again. Let's have it so that they eject to the side. Yeah? Let's try that. Take this back. Let's just reset the whole thing back again and think it out. Derping around. So we'll have a liquid transposers and the magma crucible. So we'll have a liquid transposer next to that one, then a magma crucible next to that one, then a liquid transposer next to that one. And we will have the export bus set up, not to that anymore. That's now going to be exporting into that top bit there. We're going to end up with interfaces on the top of the 2 transposers, which will be there and here. Whoops. Get up. And then we're going to set up some crafting recipes to put into those to get that working. I don't think we need an exit top because we're inputting items to the bottom, so we'll have stone like so, and that might look okay as well as being okay. So, and then we'll put these along the bottom here, may even wrap around the side just to give it a nice look. There we go. What about the top? If I can do it around the top as well. Yep. And I just need to program those now to do the doings, because I've got access to the bottom and I've got access to the top, so I can input the ender pearls there and it'll eject the juices. Now all we have to do is set that to now eject to that side instead of the top, and that will receive the ender pearls, send the ender pearl juices across to the transposer, which will enter into here, which is that slot there. We'll exit for the top, so any items will be ejected into the interface above, and we will receive the items from the bottom, and then we'll power it from the back. And this one will eject. No, that will receive. Now that should eject to that side, yeah. So we get rid of those, get rid of that, and get rid of that, and it will receive redstone from below and eject it over to here, and that will receive it from the right, and we'll also receive that from the right, but we'll eject into the interface back into the AE system. I think that this may work, but I will faff around with it a bit more off camera to see if I can get it working smoothly. I'll have to strip everything out of the system to figure it all out. What other things I'm going to need is the ability to make hardened glass. So I believe that I've got some machines in here that I could use up. There's a ton of stuff. What else are we going to use up? We've got some hardened glass already. The hardened glass requires an induction, a powered furnace. I may need a powered furnace up here. Let's pop the powered furnace on the over here as well. That's the powered furnace again. What other? There we go. Induction smelter. Let's have one of those. And we can also have. We could have the carpenters and stuff, but I'm not sure how they work yet, so we'll have to figure those ones out separately for now. And the rolling machine was another thing I wanted setting up on here again, because that's fairly useful having the rolling machine set up. So let's have our induction smelter next to our AE device there, and our powered furnace next to that. So we've got those things going. We could also do with having the sawmill. I believe I've got a sawmill. Sawmill, yep, we've got a sawmill. Could probably do with having our sawmill set up on here as well. Let's pop that in. And I want to use these again, so I don't really know which order to put them in and which recipes to make them in. So we'll work on that between times. But we're getting an idea of how the place is going to look and how the place is going to be a lot smoother and neater. And then I might put all the forestry machines along here with AE access to them as well. And maybe they'll be from the bottom side. And then we'll have all the IC2 stuff along the side here, because the IC2 power. And maybe some more stuff along here. And we'll have this blue electricity stuff along this back wall down here. And all in all, I think it will work out. Now, you'll have to excuse the moaning today about my frame rate. I'm still at 17 in this area, but I've decided to stick with it instead of just going and moving somewhere else where there's no problem. And I've done a little bit of faffing around to get things working for us, and I will continue to do so to make sure that that's all working properly. We're also going to have stone brick steps. Where's the stone brick steps? There. And stone bricks. We've got cracked stone bricks as well. It's not bad. Stone bricks normal. There we go. So let's just tidy this place up a bit before the other warlords come and have a look, and we'll just see how much space that's leaving us for other things, and try and get everything to fit in as tightly packed a space as possible, still making it look like the good old Warlords base of old without too much problematic changes. We can keep this place looking and running smoothly like so. And we'll pop those up there like so. And I think I'll probably do my next episode on wiring some more machines up, because I spent a lot of time moaning about my frame rate. And next we will upgrade all of our AE systems around here. We'll have this nice big chunky looking place here. We'll have some machines in these places where I'm putting the blocks now, but the blocks are there just to fill in the gaps and make it look nice and tidy for now. We will fill all these in afterwards with machines, and hopefully we'll figure out between us a few of the new machines that I haven't AE'd before, and try and get them all into the AE system and keep it a nice smooth central area like this. Wonder if wood would look better. Maybe not. Keep it all like this, so it's just a nice easy access point. Craft what you want, all automated, everything works for you. You just pull stuff out as you need it. I think that'll work nicely. I think the other warlords will approve. There's a lot less red power, which is good, and a lot less lag from those. Speaking of which, we've got these lights here. Me and Doodart pulled all these down once to change our frame rate, and I don't think it succeeded. I don't think it did anything. And the other thing that we've got that I haven't thought about changing is, well, get up. No. put flying on. The other thing that I've thought about was these solar panels. These solar panels up here, the advanced solar panels, I think we're about ready. We could upgrade them to ultimate hybrid, but we don't need them in the Warlords base. But I've heard that if solar panels haven't got anywhere to send the power to, if you're not using the power, then they cause frame rate lag as well. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is, but I may take those out and test a few other things. Take the lights down, take the solar panels out, test those out. Gonna figure out how to rig all of these up, and then I'll show you how it all fits together. I'm also gonna put in a load of IC2 items, and we're trying to keep them all compact in this area as well. And I'll show you how it all goes together after I've figured it out for myself. And then you will know. Well, that's it for this episode. It's good to be back on the Utopia server. It's good to be recording on the Utopia server again. It feels good, all but that little bit of frame rate. Once we've got the Warlords base set up again, then there's other projects in other places which will make my frame rate much happier. Until then, guys, I shall see you next time in Utopia.